You fall. You fall forever and forever. The twisting quicksilver mists whip at you as you fall up, then down, left, right, past trees, the keep, a dismembered blue dragon with light in its eyes as it tries to say something to you, and then it falls in another direction, another gravity. You fall past a mountain. You smash through a tomato and potato cart. Your senses are thrashing and heaving with confusion as you writhe in chaos. Fruits falling in opposite directions. Escabird, bud of light, all of these figures spinning around in just a chaotic, concentric orbit, flying to the left and the right. A formless mass of fire whips past you, scalding you, and instantly the air you breathe is replaced by water. You choke and retch and spit up fine gray sand, which swirls around you in eddies like the heavenly spheres. You fall in this space, this chaos, this limbo, this torrent. What do you do?
No spells, nothing. I think that I will, like, if it's dark, I try to fly. If I can reach out and touch Lazarus, I try to heal. I think that Morpheus is at this point testing to see, because he's not aware that he is this deprived thing now. So I think he's still trying to use what he has.
Your thoughts glimmer on whether or not it is dark in this lightless space, and for just a second there is a wisp of dark in front of you. Your mind shifts and you look at Lazarus and you think about going to touch him, and you jettison in that direction slightly.
I try to center my mind to fight whatever this thing is. I don't think it's actually real.
Give me a wisdom check.
13?
What do you form to allow you to go to Lazarus? What coalesces in this chaos around you to allow? Is it dry land? Is it a perch to step upon? Is it what do you do?
Is it Keanu?
Is it just you, like your gravities intersecting each other, and then you are together hurtling through this torrent?
It's the torso of Lawrence Fishburne coming out of the smoke and lifting me up with a hand towards him.
Yeah, I love this. A figure coalesces out of the smoke and begins to guide you.
A figure? A figure or Lawrence Fishburne?
A figure that resembles Lawrence Fishburne. Yes, your god.
Yes, Morpheus comes to me.
You focus your strength, your faith, and it forms something around you and cradles you in its arms and pushes you directly towards Lazarus, and you are together in this tumult. Mm-hmm. You have formed something out of the chaos, and as you get to your friend, it dissipates and breaks away. Mm-hmm. This figure of your god.
So I've reached him and I'm holding him now?
Yes.
As we're continuing to fall, I just say, it's not real. We can force our way through it. We can find a way. We just have to concentrate. As I fall.
Yeah. As the dragon head spins down past you.
I cry out, Fajitski!
Wait, just its head?
Yes.
Sweet.
Cleanly bisected, and it turns at you and tries to mouth something, but it is falling away in this lightless, darkless space.
Can I try to see what it was trying to mouth?
Can I regenerate Fajitski with the spell regeneration?
Yes and yes. Perception check.
Hey, 15.
There's no strength to this voice. There's no voice produced. But from those inhuman lips, you can make out one syllable.
Help.
Read me the text of regenerate.
Also, can I use Divine Sense?
Yes.
So, it is a touch spell, so I don't know if I need to first force a way to, will it over to me,
You
the
do.
part of it that is there. Great.
Wisdom check.
Great, so I'll do that before I do anything else then. Natural 20.
Oh, instantly. How do you do it? Do you is it more of this magnetic thing or being pushed by Morpheus, or what do you create out of nothingness?
I think Morpheus's figure dissolved after pushing me toward Lazarus, and then the rest of the crew of the Nebuchadnezzar forms from the shadows around the bisected dragon head and shoves it towards us and carries it towards us into space until I'm able to place a hand on it and cast regenerate, and it slowly starts forming back together. So it takes a little while for it to fully do it. So if it just happens for a while as we're falling.
You do this, and it begins to knit itself back together. And as opposed to being grateful or happy, both of you see what looks like shock, what looks like concern, and then what looks like a grim acceptance. And as its vocal cords begin to regenerate, this dismembered head, great blue eye rolling towards you, says,
No.
and it begins to dim, this great blue eye, and you can feel your magic begin to fade. And as it does, something is flowing back along the connection. A feeling like lightning, a feeling like belief or like inspiration or strength. Something is flowing back from Fajitsky as its eyes dim and dim and dim, and the tissues that are being regenerated begin to tessellate and dust off. And finally, as the eyes go dark, take your character sheets back, because Fajitsky has willed your possessions back into your being.
Hell yeah!
And you are now, as you were, floating in this space in the dust. I should also mention that in addition to all the chaos, maybe you have like this brief moment, this brief halo of quiet and repose as the crew of the Nebuchadnezzar has provided for you before disintegrating. There are other people hurtling in this mass. You can hear screams off in the distance, the wailing of men and women as they are hurtling in this limbo. What do, you two, having been restored?
I look for the other goblin.
So you begin to look around for the goblin known as Help, the one that began this whole misadventure, talking to you about how you fell asleep. And this is going to take an active perception check, not the passive perception check.
23.
You are fairly certain you do not see him. I know this is pandemonium and chaos, but in this moment of stillness, this small eddy in this flow, there is naught to be seen of this little fucking asshole.
Are you all right?
Like, do I sense anything?
What are you looking for specifically?
No, it's like
Fae, fiend, undead.
it's anything that is that.
I think it is similarly going
just
haywire.
off the compass.
Yes.
Cool.
You get the feeling that this is not a place that you're calibrated for.
Cool. Let's just throw some shit at the wall and see what happens.
Yeah. Literally.
I assume concentration on holy weapon was broken when everything got like dropped.
Yes.
Cool. I just want to make. I don't know if this is a willing thing into existence sort of thing or what, but I would just like to make a weapon attack and see if I can like cut open what we're in.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Give me a charisma check.
Cool. I mean, does that make sense?
It does.
Okay,
You're
cool.
trying to cut the firmament.
Yes.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Natural 20.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Describe to me your physical action, and I'll describe to you the effect. Because you are currently floating this small orb of maintained maintained order in this chaos. How do you?
I think it's kind of like that thing where like you like the quintessential I'm gonna cut the sail Peter Pan sort of thing.
Yeah, you try to.
But just like at least Andrew thinks, right?
Uh-huh.
That it might be like an easy physicality thing of just like flipping the sword around and like placing it and letting our fall open up something. It's like a faith thing.
Yeah.
I'm becoming one with the Force. The Force
Hell
is with
yeah.
me.
You can feel something turning underneath your blade. You can feel it. You're trying, and it's the minutest of physical adjustments that you're doing, but you know that's not why you're doing the physical adjustments. It's all a part of trying to find it with your mind and with your force, with your will. And it catches on something, and you snag something very briefly, and a thin gray light begins to peer through this little patch that you have snagged in this firmament, and everything begins to rumble around you.
Yeah.
Off in the distance,
I'm gonna keep trying to break
you can
it.
see
Hell yeah. Break the world. Break the world.
part young woman, part indescribable tentacled monstrosity. Something swims in low, threatening undulations through this space, through this empty chaos. Its many mouths, its giant bulbous head, which is nothing in itself but another mouth and another maw, and yet still somehow you can see the blonde hair and the dark skin of this drow as it begins to fan out like an octopus, its many tentacles advancing towards you in the distance.
So we have just like we're still falling, but we can see like the curtain is pulled back sort of thing. Like we're still in this.
You have nicked a very small amount of whatever this curtain, this fabric is that you are in, and just a weak gray light begins to shine through.
Cool.
And
it's
you are in a
through
controlled
that.
fall. Yes.
Like
it is
it's on
through.
the other side of that thin gray line.
Yes, that is where the gray light is. Oh, yes, it is on the other.
Like it's
no,
not
no, no.
in the world with us.
It is in the world with you.
Cool. I'm gonna do everything I can to cut that wider.
Give me another charisma check. What are you doing? Because we are about to approach into some form of initiative.
I'm also gonna bonus action cast Holy Weapon again, just to buff it. Maybe like as that tear opens up, I can feel the silver flame again, and I'm like connected to it again. That sort of thing.
Yeah, I think so. I think every cut you make, every step you take.
You'll be watching me?
Watching you. Charisma check.
Yes.
21.
21. Lovely.
Holy hell.
Weaver, what are you doing?
So, since we've been in a lot of different places and seen a lot of things, let me double check where we're at. Do we once again, or still, I guess, look old and decrepit like we did in the anti-magic field?
I think you feel that way.
We feel that way.
All of your strength, your vigor, your armor, your arms, except for the things that you broke, the heart and the bone, are with you.
Okay, yeah, because that was gonna be my second
Last
question.
gift.
Okay, cool, awesome. How far is it from us, and how quickly is it advancing? Just because
In this space, it is almost impossible to tell distance because the perspective isn't one that is based on things that are, but things that are not, things that change and morph. It is impossible to tell.
Great.
It is getting larger, though. I will say that.
Cool. Ah, shit. Okay, sorry. I was stalling to try to see if Forbiddance would work, but Aberration is not on there. Damn it. Okay. So you are currently ripping it open even further.
Yep, I have Holy Weapon up again, and am just trying to sear through the void, break the world.
And I think you are. You're widening this. The sunlight of your weapon is mixing with this weak gray light coming through this tear in the world.
Oh. You know what? Let's try that. Let's try a circle of power. As I cast it, it's centered on me, and it affects the area around Lazarus and I.
Is this a concentration check?
Yes.
So as you cast this circle of power, the entire calmness of this eddy that kept you guys locally in one area, it completely disappears, and instantly you are now flung in opposite directions as Lazarus flying away from this tiny tear he's made in the world, you flying quote unquote down along with the circle of power that follows you as you fly down through.
Oh, shit.
Wait, so what caused that? Sorry.
The breaking of concentration.
Okay, so I was concentrating on, like, holding shit together?
Yes.
Ah,
With your passive perception, even though you are spinning and falling with this welcoming and helping dome of protection, the circle of power around you, you can see it. It raises one of its many long tentacles, and all of a sudden, all of the area around it, as it begins to trace up, down, left, around, surrounding this thing, it begins to spin water. It is encased in a globe of water that follows it as it begins float towards you. Roll for initiative.
3. That's exactly what Marcabus should have given me.
I know we're getting conceptual here. Have I painted the picture of the battlefield enough?
So we are flung in different directions.
It is unfathomable.
Yes,
Until it is made
unknowable,
fathomable.
yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Which requires a concentration.
I have a 13.
13. I will say, though we are far outside of the realm of a 2D map, let's say this is where you two are. You have been separated by the forces of this chaos.
Where's the small tear that I have made?
Right there, equidistant between you, Weaver, and this thing that I will be calling Rhea, after Morgan's druid. First in the order is Rhea, as this massive globule of water in which now, thankfully, blessedly, this thing is hidden, begins to waft towards you in this unknowable space, wafting towards Weaver. That far.
So there?
Yes. As this globule of water, this spinning orb of disgusting, murky filth with this thing blessedly hidden behind the dirt and slime of this water. You can see the flashes of its many eyes and tentacles, the panes of yellow, glistening light as it uses its entire action to float closer to you, Weaver. And it is your turn.
Am I falling still, or
Yes, every turn.
can I stabilize myself, can I try to use my movement essentially to try to fly up or stabilize myself or do whatever?
It will require dropping the concentration of the power.
Okay, but so every turn I'm getting further from the tear that he made.
Currently, yes.
Okay. Well then,
Doesn't it suck to burn a nice big smell?
yeah, I love burning that nice big smell.
Hey, it's awesome design, dude.
All right.
It's how you make an awesome encounter for level 20s.
Yeah, to make things difficult and challenging. I like it.
You corrected me saying smells. So clearly it doesn't.
Let's go back to when you were praising me with the bone and the heart.
I'm still praising it.
Praise the sun. Yeah, I knew it. We're on the same wavelength there.
You know what? Fuck
There
it.
are
I'm
still
gonna drop.
There are still other figures flying around. I want that to be known, as well as part of the keep, a tower. No longer the dragon head, but all the various props, you might say, if this were Gary's mod of this space. What do you do?
Oh man, I was hoping I was gonna see help because twice individuals have had their only word to me be help, and I don't know if it's a red herring or not. I'm gonna drop circle of power so that I can stabilize myself and go toward the rip.
You're gonna head right toward the rip.
I'm gonna, yeah.
Wisdom check.
22.
Oh, I'm gonna put you all the way there if you like.
Yeah, let's do it.
And unless you say something else, you're just orbiting it.
Great. Can I grab it? Is it grabbable, like where the rip is?
I think
Does this make sense?
as you want to do it, land forms.
Mm-hmm.
And now there is literally just the hexagon around it, the 5-foot diameter hexagon, because it was such a good roll, of land beneath it that you are balanced on.
Cool.
And for whatever purpose your down is now the down of the land next to the rip.
Okay, cool. With that, is that like my action and stuff?
No.
Great.
That replaces movement.
Great. Then I will bonus action cast spiritual weapon because it is not concentration.
Aha, there we go.
And I am going to just conjure a big ass. It's just another Neo.
It's just another
It's
Neo.
just another Neo when he starts doing kung fu. I was like a weird hand. I was like just doing a karate chop.
Karate chop hand.
Just.
But he's like in the fast motion, like when he's fighting, and
Yes.
your eye can't keep up, so there's after images as he's doing kung fu.
He's like Matrix speed, kung fuing, trying to tear the hole even further.
Where do you want? Oh, at the.
Yes, I want my spiritual weapon to be ripping the hole even further.
Okay, cool.
And then I will, my actual action, I'll just cast Toll the Dead.
You can double cast if it's a cantrip,
Yes,
right?
correct.
Great.
Yes.
Give me an attack roll, I believe.
It is a
Save.
from it. It's a wisdom save. I'm testing the waters here. And I don't know if it counts as
Isn't it a
being hurt
con
at all
save?
from now. Maybe it's a con
think
save.
it's a con save.
I will double check what. It is a wisdom save.
Oh, it's wisdom. Okay, so that
Nice.
is does a 15.
15 does not save.
15 does not save, so it takes damage.
Does it count? Have we heard it at all? I'm losing track of what's what in the space. What is actual creatures that we have encountered, and like
At
if
this
it
point-
counts as other things.
At this point, none.
Okay,
This is the
cool.
only thing you have encountered in this space.
Great. So then it's going to take 4d8 necrotic.
Go ahead. Whoa, because of empowered cantrip.
Yes.
Damn.
Well, it's just because that's
How
at
cantrips
17th
level up.
level. It's just scaled.
Oh, of course. Cool. So
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll that.
Yeah, 48 necrotic. It was real shit rolls. It's only a total of 10.
10. So, here's what happens.
Cool.
You fire this Toll the Dead. It's the sound of like ringing bells. Is that right?
Yes,
The
just
dolorous
all
bells.
over this
this space,
endless, unknowable space.
bouncing off of nothing and into nothing.
Yes.
And what does it look like?
I think that it's just the smoke comes out from the area around me again, and the colors get more saturated in the mass of water and everything as the smoke goes around that. And it's not necessarily a beam, but just that area. The sound is almost amplified in the space around that creature.
And there is, at first, no indication that this has had any effect. And then the water begins to dissipate and move in different directions. The thing squirms and undulates inside as the water has been dissipated outwards. It failed its concentration check.
Yes.
Next in the order is Lazarus, who is currently whizzing back down that way.
The small gap that I have opened up, I talked about like feeling the silver flame from the other side of it.
Oh, you absolutely do.
Like feeling the other side, and that probably haven't felt.
Oh, yeah.
in who knows how long we've been in this cycle, whatever.
It's painful and
You know what I
brisk
mean?
and
But, like,
energizing.
Yeah. And so using that, I'm going to use Paladin level 20 feature, Living Myth.
Yes, you are.
AKA, as a bonus action, you gain the following benefits for 10 minutes. You gain advantage on all charisma checks.
Woo!
Once on each of your turns, when you make a weapon attack and miss, you can cause that attack to hit instead. If you fail a saving throw, you can use your reaction to succeed instead.
Fucking hit me.
Hit
me, level 20. Jesus, you go
That-
Super Saiyan, essentially.
Jesus,
sorry,
it's
actually-
Goku on meth.
No,
Bring it
let's
back.
be honest. This is the trap that Last Jedi fell into, but we're gonna do it right. That sweet, sweet Jedi soundtrack just starts playing up under me as I just like focus the world.
Yes.
Cool. And I'm gonna drop the magical flames on my sword and use my concentration to jettison myself to the tear in the world.
Advantage charisma check.
Natural 20.
Hell yes.
Holy shit. You do this. How does it look when this silver flame envelops you, or do you become the myth, the legend, Lazarus? Like what does this mean?
I mean, yeah, the myth, the legend, Lazarus.
Are you
No.
bigger,
I
or
think
are you-
no. I actually think it's the same.
Mm-hmm.
I think he stays the same physically in all ways. I think it is just like achieving oneness. Cool. Yeah.
Somehow you become
Yes.
more real.
Yeah.
And you like fucking that awful scene in The Last
My eyes
Jedi,
go over.
but cool as hell.
Good CGI.
Good CGI.
Good, yeah.
Slash through like
Makes sense
like
story-wise.
like a fucking bolt of silver as you zoom directly across, doing again the katana thing at this little rip.
Give it
and
to me.
It just tears open, and now there is 4 or 5 feet of this swinging tear in the fabric as this gray light begins to pour through of this 4-foot tear that you have opened up. And next in the order is this thing, which lets out a horrific, just unknowable John Carpenter scream, and begins to move towards Weaver.
Cool.
And one tentacle whips up in front of what would be its head or its pseudopod and points directly at you. And you are assaulted. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Is this against fear of being charmed?
Yes.
Question. Is he within range of me?
What is your range?
I think it's a 30-foot. Yeah, it's a 30-foot. You have a +4 on this save.
+4? Dope. So that's going to be 25.
You feel like a cold, squirming tentacle of thought try to pierce itself into your mind. The magical defense, whether it's your god or you or your friend or your faith, cuts it off, and wriggling, it dies in your mind, and it has no effect, no purchase. And this thing lets loose another gibbering sound. Does anybody speak deep speech?
I do not, as a matter of fact.
Celestial, Common, and Infernal.
Nope. You do not know exactly what it says, but you can infer it is not good.
Had I played that Aberration
Makes sense.
Sorcerer, I would.
Yeah, right. I don't know that I even ever picked my languages when I slapped this together.
Really?
I was like, I have 30 whatever spells.
I just did
what
it
are
through D&D
languages?
Beyond, and
I
it
took
was
tongues.
It was like...
And as the last of its action, it is going to, again, try to trace something around itself with that other tentacle. And a smaller globule of filthy water begins to encircle it. Not enough to encase you or this rift that you have opened up, but enough to just sort of obscure it in this murk and filth. What do you do?
Murk and filth.
Murk and filth. Jesus.
Murk and filth.
That's what I heard.
Murk and filth.
Made me laugh.
What do you do? Murk and filth. What do you do, Weaver?
Neo still doing his thing. How big is that rift now?
It is widening out to 5 feet now, and it is ragged and chopped at the edges, and this gray light is looking through, and with your passive perception, you can see wood. You can see the grain of wood and chipped white paint.
Ah. I see. The door. You know what? Fuck off. I'm gonna try to. Wait, no, I don't have the rod of lordly might. I don't know why I was looking at that. Get rid of that. I was like, what are my things?
You snapped that femur.
Yep, I snapped that. I was like, wait, I got
Pull
rid of
out
that
the
thing.
snapped femur,
like-
and everything resets.
And you're
Shit.
Weaver. You are awake. No.
Oh, damn it.
I'm just in here by myself, like, I didn't see anything!
God.
You're seeing all the shit
Oh, yeah,
now.
no, I'm seeing it all now.
All the fractals.
This is cult once we took the medicine, and we're just like,
By the
Oh
way,
my
one of my
God.
favorite moments of any game I've ever been a part of is when you took the medicine going into a fight, and I had like this whole thing about
the
it takes
assumption.
40 minutes to
Yep.
like
I just had the assumption that I could help, maybe.
And then it hits. Oh, my God.
when it hits different.
Sometimes you just gotta try a drug.
Um,
Cult booth.
Cole motherfucking Booth, y'all.
So I'm casting Toll the Dead.
Okay, that is going to be a 17.
17 fails.
Okay.
So that's going to be 4d12 now.
Okie doke, give me that.
18 points of necrotic damage.
This modeling gray, this saturation darkens at one end of this thing inside this sphere of water. And once again, as some sort of burbling noise is heard from within, mercifully muffled by the water, this water again dissipates, and some of it flies off, and some of it burbles and becomes air, and some of it turns into fire and zings off down below you. But this water that it had brought around itself dissipates. It is now, I almost called you Kurt Seaman. It is now Lazarus' turn. This is far from Kurt.
All of the characters.
unless-
All of the characters.
Hey, everybody has to become a paladin. Maybe this is Kurt, like...
This is Kurt.
Anyway,
You're
we're talking
not
about
on the
monsters.
Kurt's becoming the wronged. We all know it.
Never again.
Kurt's going down a dark path, y'all.
Man.
There are a lot of things
There are.
that I
Some of them are whizzing around
could
screaming.
maybe do. I was gonna say, can I make a would it be a potential like free action to like perceive NPCs, people around, living things that exist on this plane?
There are people
Yeah.
screaming and orbiting. You know that.
Yeah.
To track them all would be...
Are there any like nearby that I see?
Yeah, there's a cloud of 6 or 5 or so. Skins and slams off of a stone tower and lets out a... Ah!
Do I then hear Sadu?
Yeah, that's what you hear. Ah!
Just curious.
Was
Where's
that a good,
the Dagon?
was that a good Mason impression? You gotta be honest.
I thought of Sadu.
Ah! Anything that sounds like a surfer.
A flask goes flying by.
Yeah, a flask is flying by. No, these people are also in the deprived sort of state that you guys were.
Ah, okay.
Naked, as it were.
Oh, there's so many things. Ooh, Joe, there's so many things.
Everything happens so much.
Oh,
It all happens a lot is the thing.
Oh, but as a paladin right now, that's what I'm struggling with.
Ooh, yeah.
I haven't seen the door yet. I want to make I guess another charisma check to like move back, like on the, or just like start opening up even more.
If you're just moving, I think you can just do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to move it to the seam.
Yeah.
And then
4 or 5 feet as this spiritual weapon continues to hack away. It does way less than what you're doing, but it is working every turn.
I'm using everything I have to open it as far as I can. I'm kind of Andrew
Yeah.
knows this probably isn't logical, but like I think the Lazarus approach is like if I open this far enough, will it just flush like a damn toilet?
Give me, give me a charisma check and you get advantage.
Pull the plug on the bathtub.
22.
Again, the bellowing, I think it's going to get one attack at you with its tentacles. That's going to be 17.
Misses.
As I think at this point it just like pings off of you, like it hits, but there's no notice, there's no effect, as whatever this icon it is that you have become has
I'm one with the force.
protected you. Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
With one last final mighty tear and the sounds of this bellowing in your ears behind you, there is nothing. You are in this white void, this gray light spilling towards you. The door is in front of you. It is open. It is no longer a door. It is a circle of worn white wood, splintered and dusty with age. It hangs open on its jamb. You two are alone, the sound of this thing's bellowing, echoing in your ears. What do you two do?
Can we look behind us? Is like the tear there, or is it just like a void of white?
You're just in this white, gray, dim light, and the door hangs in front of you. It's a circle.
Oh damn.
Okay. But okay, that was my question. That was what my question was going to be if
Maybe.
Sorry, clusterfuck. When you say the door is a circle,
The door is a circle.
Is it still a physical, like, does it still look like a door that is on hinges, like...
It's a hobbit hole?
Like a hobbit hole door?
The door is a circle.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Cool. And it's open.
It hangs open on its hinges.
Can we see what's on the other side of the door?
Shadow.
Can I see through the shadow because of my, like, shit?
No.
Okay.
It is a metaphorical shadow.
Got it. Okay.
In this void space, can I use Divine Sense?
Yes. Nothing.
Nothing.
Now not haywire. Now nothing.
Watch us 2 level 20s. Try and figure out what a door is.
The bane of all D&D characters, doors.
I'm just gonna throw it up just as part of as life to detect evil and good.
No. None.
Oh, Joe, there's the door.
There's the door.
It's a
Reach
circle.
the door, was the door, it's the door, still a door, again a door.
Do we close the door?
Do we step through the door?
That's a good question. Leave and shut it behind us?
I don't know.
I'm gonna try to commune again in this space.
I love this.
This fog spins around you, and you are with your god. What do you ask?
Should we step through this door?
Yes.
Should we close the door behind us?
Yes.
Will it seal away the creature that caused this?
Help.
Let's go.
Well, I think I know what trajectory, at least I feel comfortable taking. You step through and shut it behind.
I'm with you.
And together you pass through.
I cast protection from evil and good.
On myself.
And
You know what? No. I cast it on my friend.
There we go.
Thanks, bud.
And with this completely meaningless action, no, I'm just kidding. Nothing is meaningless.
it is.
It is.
It
is
really
not.
is.
No, it is not. I promise you.
I'll reach up and grab his hand. Because I'm Lil.
No, we are kind of an odd couple. I didn't
Yeah.
even really think about
Yeah,
the
we're
size
really
difference.
cute.
Hand in hand, you walk through the door.
Hello, friends. What's that? You want to get to the end of the episode? I don't know what you're talking about. It's not like we paused after a massive cliffhanger or anything. I'm just playing. Don't sweat it. I don't have a ton of announcements this week, but I am here to say, if you're a fan of the Quest Company, please do us a favor and go to our page on the Apple Podcasts app or wherever you listen to your podcast and leave us a rating and review. It's a huge help to us, and we read every review that comes in. We're at the end of this side quest now. If you loved it, if you haven't left us a review yet, leave us one and tell us what you thought about Circle. We would super appreciate it. And if you really love what we do here at the Quest Company and you want to take the next step in supporting us, please consider becoming a Patreon subscriber. For as little as $2 a month, you can help us with necessary expenses, help us continue to improve the quality of the show, and get access to exclusive content and patron rewards. If you want to give us that support, you could do so at patreon.com/questcompanypodcast. We also have a link to the Patreon on our website, questcompanypodcast.com. If you'd like to contact us, you could do so directly through the Connect page on our website or by finding us on Twitter, Instagram, etc. at The Quest Company. You can also come hang out with us in our Discord. If you need links to any of those things, go check out our website. It's all there. I'd like to thank Mr. Joe Leitess for DMing and editing this side quest, and thank the other amazing artists whose work is featured in it. Thank you to Kai Engel for so many songs in this one. Thank you for the tracks Illumination, Imminence, Oneiri, Cutting to the Chase, Run, and Warm of a Mechanical Heart. Thank you to tabletopaudio.com for providing the ambient sounds, additional sound design by Slappy and Newagesoup. Big shout out to Kai Engel, by the way. We've used a lot of his stuff in Circle because it has seriously been perfect for this side quest, and we are so thankful that he's put it out there for people to use. If you haven't already, go check out his stuff for real because it's so good. Also, while I'm thanking people, thank you for listening to Circle and for coming along on this ride with us. Obviously, this was a really fun and really personal side quest for us as friends and players because it's tied so closely to our experiences off mic back when we first started playing D&D before we ever had any thoughts of the Quest Company being a thing. And I'm sure a lot of things make more sense for those of you who have listened to some of our content like New Ridge and View and are familiar with the way that Joe and Andrew and I do things. If you've made it this far into Circle and you haven't listened to those, go listen to them. But we are really proud of the combination of storytelling and gameplay that happened in Circle. It was a wonderful and terrifying experience, and we are so happy to share it with you. That's all for me, so I guess we should find out what the hell's going to happen on the other side of this door, huh? Let's wrap up another side quest here on the Quest Company.
Weaver, you are awake. Lazarus, you are awake. It is the most painful thing you've ever experienced. Air in your lungs feels like fire. Your eyes swim. You try to open them, but they are crusted shut. The light, this dim gray light, is too much. It is too harsh. Your chest, there's something in your chest. There's something stuck in your chest, Lazarus. There's something stuck in your chest. Weaver.
Look down.
A black mass through the roomy blur of your eyes. This gray light, it's too much. It pierces through it. It hurts your head. It hurts your eyes. There is something stuck in your chest.
Pull it out.
Fuck, it is out.
You pull it out, both of you. A black hook. It gurgles and heaves a black ichor. Your chest spills out some of your blood, still red, and some of this ichor. You lie in something wet and cool. It burbles. Above you is a wooden roof. Dim gray light. Finally, now your eyes are adjusting. Finally, the crust falling away. Dim light streams in from a grimy window. Something sputtering yellow and gurgling is in the corner of the room, and you lie on your backs looking up at the wooden roof. The walls are covered in gray, pink veins.
Try to stand?
Yeah, try to get up. Ooh, shit, no. Before moving any more than I already have, I just want to try and perceive.
Give me a perception
the
check.
world around me. Am I using my stat?
You are the deprived.
Again.
No.
Okay, back to the deprived.
Mm-hmm. All of these things that I just said,
Yeah.
You are in some sort of bed, some sort of mass surrounds you, cradling you like a cocoon, and underneath it is just a normal bed. There's a wooden, gray, dusty, grimy...
I mean, I got an 8.
Same
so
to you.
what you said, yeah.
You said the hook is out now?
Yes.
Pulled it out? I try to, just to test the waters real quick, I'm gonna put my hand to my chest and attempt a cure wounds to see if it does anything, to see if it closes up that wound at all. if there is any sort of effect.
I think the divine power flows through you for a second, and you heal yourself slightly, but it sputters. You're just too exhausted. You're just deprived at this moment.
Okay.
It's there, but it sparks and sputters out.
Okay.
We've pulled a hook out.
Both of you,
Is it like,
unknowing of the other
is
one.
it like attached to a hose? Is it just a hook?
A disgusting yellow veined hose, which
Sorry.
reaches into. No, I haven't said this part yet.
Oh, sorry, I thought you had said it. My bad.
Reaches down past the bed and towards that yellow glow in the corner. This is all you've perceived lying on your backs.
Cool. Can I like pull the hook off the hose?
You do.
Okay, cool.
We weakly wrestle at it, and the sinews fight and tear, and at one point even try to bite, but you pull it off. If you'd like, you can treat it as a crude dagger.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna stand up with my little busted ass hook.
You step shakily out of this bed of gray-green flesh. These hoses, you can see more beds. It looks, now that you are able to see, like a dormitory or a boarding house of some sort, or maybe even a barracks. Wooden floors, wooden ceilings, covered in filth and grime and mucus and these tissues. You step shakily out, and you see all the other figures lying in these beds. And down the way, you can see, wrestling with his own hook, Weaver, pulling his out of his chest. You look bad. You look as I have described. This wound in your chests.
I'm gonna go help Weaver up and keep my eye on whatever the thing in the corner is.
This thing in the corner to which all the hoses lead from these hooks that you have pulled out. You can see them now buried in other figures around, all of them covered in some sort of film or tissue, laying in these beds, shuddering and bubbling, these humanoid figures. All of them lead to this yellow mass in the corner. A blasphemous green blueberry, shuddering and flashing yellow. It is slashed. It is hacked. There is a single hatchet buried directly in the center of this thing.
Help.
You pull each other to your feet. There is a window to the world outside, which is quiet, gray, dim light from the sky. And with your passive perception behind you over towards the thing, which you can see perfectly from where you lay at your bed, a normal door. Just a door that you would find in an inn. Its lintel cracked, its paint dusty, slightly hanging off of its hinges.
Well, once I've helped you, I just want to make my way to that hatchet.
As you're starting to make your way over to that, I separate my hook from the hose too. And how many other cocoon bed things can
Many.
we see?
Some of them are even in the walls.
I think that I'd look to you for a moment without actually speaking at this point, but sort of hold the hook up to one of the other hoses as if ready to cut, and sort of gauge what you think of cutting this thing off, whatever this is, from everyone else that seems to be connected to it in here.
I think I give you a nod of a go-ahead, but I'm still going to go to that hatchet.
Great. I'm going to start severing the connection and seeing if I can rouse anyone else. If these are people who we recognize at all from Greenest, or if they are complete strangers.
You do. And as you go about, most of them shudder and bubble in these films that they have been covered in. They begin to still almost stretch and rouse themselves somewhat.
So as he cuts
Each another
a
one
person is moving.
is beginning
it's
to
not, like, stopped.
Yes.
Cool.
As
and I
you-
will wait at the hatchet. So sorry.
Sure.
I was like, basically, I'm gonna let Jonah try one, and if it doesn't kill that person, then let you continue doing that.
Totally.
But I'm just gonna stay in between this thing and everything else.
Two people do not move, and their hoses never had any light as you approach their beds shakily. One of them is a dwarf with flaxen red hair, stilled, dust settled on his face. And the other is a blue dragonborn, dust settled like a wedding shroud on his face.
Dragonborn or half dragon?
Dragonborn.
Okay.
And this is what you do. you are not only by this thing, but by a window, which looks into the world outside. At the moment, I think you're next to it on the ground, not with
I
strength.
will happily look
Mhm.
as long as I can still be cognizant of if this thing's gonna do anything.
As it sputters and heaves, some of this yellow goo drips out from the hatchet wound, and it begins to dim and dim and dim slightly. And the world outside is quiet. Gray, dim light from the sky. Cracked cobblestones, veins, and fleshy masses cover the walls of this city, which looks like Greenrest, but larger, more spread out. You can see where the keep is. You see things move through the streets, shambling towers of flesh, mutter and keen down the road. From rooms and other buildings, you can see more pods, more people, more yellow growths flashing and shuddering. And you sink to your knees as you look at the sky, but it isn't the sky. It is gray. It ripples, and it stretches as far as you can see, the pitted underbelly of some unknowable thing. As you watch one small section, perhaps a circular acre of gray flesh, parts, and a deep glow of yellow from within illuminates a clock tower in this mirror plaza downtown. The tower's stones rip and tear from their firmaments, dissolving, shattering, sucking upward into that hellish chasm, and then the tower is gone and the flesh closes and you kneel here on dry cobbleboards. You two hear the creak of the door, and there, small, diminutive, with a tablecloth over him for warmth, a wizened goblin looks at the two of you, hefts one hatchet, hits his palm with it, and says, "Help."
Fucking knew it. I knew it at the beginning of this session that it was him. That he was somewhere in the end game. I knew this. I knew it. I'm just happy with myself.
That's the end of my game.
I grab the hatchet out of the thing and just jam it into the guy. I'm kidding.
It's the redemption of help.
But wait.
Yes.
Can I, as help is there, I don't know if something happens. I don't know if that's intended to be the end. And
Well,
leave
that
it
was
open,
my
but
little
yeah.
button, but please, let's have the epilogue.
I was just gonna try to, if we can cast any sort of spell, I was gonna try to cast a 9th level gate and go back to the prime material plane.
Homie, you there?
Great.
Homie, this is the world.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. Jonah.
I'm keeping all this.
Okay, great. Okay, I just
What
wasn't sure how
Mr.
broken
Joe
you were.
Leitess
Okay.
has done
Damn.
is
Hey, listeners. Is your brain as broken as mine was in this moment? Do you have questions? Who was the blue dragonborn? What was the door? Is death a circle? Death is a circle. Want some insight into how we plan, run, and stumble through side quests like this one? Well, I have good news. Join us next week as we take a moment and debrief. We'll chat Circle, the podcast, video games, Unearthed Arcana, and a bunch of other shit. We had a lot of fun talking shop, so we will see y'all there next week. And remember, death is a circle. It super is. It very much is.